Chosen one, stop everything you're doing right now. Yes, exactly you who's listening to this. Because what I'm about to reveal in the next few minutes will explain something that has tormented you for a long time. Something you never fully understood. Something that made you doubt your own worth as a human being. Someone rejected you. And it wasn't just any rejection. It wasn't someone you barely knew deciding to walk away. It was someone you gave everything to. Someone who knew your heart. Someone who knew exactly what they had in their hands. And yet, they chose to discard you. But here's what nobody told you about that moment. When that person made the decision to reject you, something extraordinary happened in dimensions the human eye cannot see. The devil, who should have rejoiced in your suffering, who should have celebrated seeing you destroyed, did something that left his own legions bewildered. He was furious, not at you, at the person who rejected you, because even the adversary, even the one who has sought your destruction since you were born, recognized something that person was too blind to see. You were the prize, and the prize was despised. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on all notifications, because what I'm about to reveal, about why your rejection caused fury even in hell, will completely transform the way you see that experience that almost destroyed you. And stay until the end, because I'm going to show you exactly what heaven was watching while you were being discarded, why that person committed the gravest mistake of their existence, and what destiny now opens before you precisely because you were freed from someone who didn't deserve you. Write 777 in the comments if you've ever been rejected by someone you gave everything to, and you're ready to discover the spiritual truth behind that moment. Chapter 1. The night everything changed. I need you to come back with me to that moment, not because I want to make you suffer again, but because you need to see what was really happening while your heart was breaking. You remember the feeling, right? That emptiness in your stomach that seemed bottomless. That mental confusion of not understanding what you had done wrong. That torturous question repeating in your head over and over again. Why? Why me? Why after everything I gave? Why after everything I sacrificed? Why after I gave myself in a way I had never given myself to anyone? And the answer you received was silence. Or worse, empty excuses that explained nothing. Words that sounded rehearsed. Justifications that made no sense to someone who knew the truth of what you had offered. Let me tell you what was happening in the spiritual realm at that exact moment. While your tears were falling, while your chest ached in a way that felt physical, while you wondered if there was something fundamentally wrong with you, the angels assigned to your protection did something they rarely do. They fell silent, not because they had abandoned you, not because they agreed with what was happening to you, but because they knew something you couldn't see in the midst of your pain. They knew this rejection wasn't your destruction, it was your liberation. You see, there's a spiritual principle that has operated since the beginning of time, a pattern that repeats in the life of every chosen soul that has ever walked this earth. Rejection precedes elevation. Joseph was rejected by his own brothers. They sold him as a slave. They discarded him as if he was worthless. And that same Joseph became the second most powerful man in Egypt, and ended up being the savior of those who despised him. David was so rejected by his own father that when the prophet Samuel arrived looking for the future king among his sons, they didn't even call David. They left him tending sheep as if he didn't deserve to be present. And that rejected David became the most remembered king in history. Moses was rejected by the people he was trying to save. They questioned him, criticized him, wanted to return to slavery instead of following him. And that rejected Moses parted the sea and freed an entire nation. The pattern is there, clear as water, undeniable as the sunrise. The chosen ones are rejected before being elevated. But there's something deeper you need to understand about your specific situation. Something that differentiates your rejection from a simple romantic disappointment or a lost friendship. The person who rejected you wasn't simply choosing not to be with you. They were rejecting light they couldn't handle. Chapter 2. The real reason for the rejection. This is where I need you to pay close attention, because what I'm about to explain changes everything. There's a spiritual law that works like physics. Just as water seeks its level, just as heat flows from hot to cold, spiritual frequencies seek compatibility. Intense light disturbs those accustomed to darkness. This isn't a pretty metaphor. It's real spiritual mechanics. When someone has lived in low frequencies for a long time, when they've gotten used to superficial relationships, when their comfort zone is in mediocrity, when their eyes have adjusted to the shadows, The arrival of someone who emits genuine light causes a disturbing effect. At first, that light attracts, because it's magnetic, because it's different from everything the person knew, because it awakens something dormant they didn't even know existed inside them. But then, when the relationship deepens, when the light begins to illuminate corners that were comfortably hidden, when that luminous presence starts exposing truths the person would rather not see, something changes. Attraction transforms into discomfort, and the person doesn't understand what they're feeling. They don't have the spiritual vocabulary to process that they're being confronted with their own darkness. So they do what humans do when they don't understand something that disturbs them. They look for an exit, and the easiest exit is to reject the source of light. Look, this is important. The person who rejected you probably doesn't even consciously know why they did it. If you asked, they would give you reasons that sound logical. Personality differences, life timing, need for space, whatever justification their mind invented to explain something they can't comprehend. But the spiritual truth is simpler and more devastating. Your light was too much for them. Not because there's something wrong with your light, but because they weren't prepared to hold it. They hadn't done the inner work necessary to be worthy of what you were offering. They didn't have the capacity to receive love at the level you were capable of giving. And here's the part that probably hurts most to hear. They knew. On some level, conscious or not, they knew exactly what they had. They knew you were different. They knew what they felt with you wasn't common. They knew the way you looked at them, the way you treated them, the way you made them feel, was something they would hardly ever find again. And even knowing all of this, they chose to reject you. Not because they didn't value you, but because valuing you would mean having to grow. It would mean having to face their own shadows. It would mean having to become someone worthy of what they were receiving. And they chose the easier path. Reject the prize, instead of working to deserve it. Chapter 3. What Heaven Was Watching. While all this was happening, while your heart was fragmenting into pieces that seemed impossible to pick up, Heaven was watching with a perspective you couldn't have. The angels saw something your pain prevented you from seeing. They saw you were being removed from a situation that would limit your destiny. They saw that this person, as much as you loved them, functioned as an anchor preventing you from rising to where you need to go. They saw that every day you remained in that relationship was another day of delay in your purpose. And they saw something more. They saw the future waiting for you once you were free. There's a spiritual concept few people know about. It's called protection through removal. It's when the universe protects you not by giving you what you ask for, but by taking away what harms you even though you don't recognize it. You begged for that person to stay. You begged for the rejection not to happen. You begged for everything to go back to how it was before. And heaven in its infinite wisdom said no. Not because it wanted to see you suffer, but because it clearly saw that this person was not part of your destiny. They were part of your learning. They were part of your preparation. They were part of the process that will transform you into who you need to be. But they weren't your destiny. And keeping them in your life would mean keeping you small. It would mean accepting crumbs when you were created for feasts. It would mean settling for a life far below what you truly deserve. The rejection that almost destroyed you was actually heaven intervening on your behalf. It was the divine hand removing an obstacle you loved too much to let go of on your own. For those who want to go deeper, there's exclusive material in the description and pinned comment. Chapter 4. The Unexpected Reaction from Hell. Now we arrive at the part that will shake everything you thought you knew about your situation. While heaven watched your rejection as part of a greater plan, something completely unexpected was happening in darker dimensions. Hell was also watching. And its reaction was different from anything you could imagine. You see, logic would say the forces of darkness would celebrate your suffering, that they would rejoice seeing a chosen soul being shattered, that they would applaud every tear you shed, every night you couldn't sleep, every moment you doubted your own worth. But that's not what happened. The devil observed the person who rejected you. He analyzed their decision. He calculated the implications, and his reaction left his own legions bewildered. He was furious. Not at you, at them, because even the adversary, even the one whose purpose is to destroy everything good, recognizes when something precious is being wasted. Let me explain the twisted logic that operates in dark dimensions. The devil doesn't want you to suffer just for the sake of suffering. He wants you to suffer in ways that pull you away from your purpose, that fill you with bitterness, that make you lose faith, that turn you into someone so destroyed you abandon your mission. But when he observed your rejection, he saw something that deeply disturbed him. He saw that the suffering wasn't destroying you. It was refining you. He saw that the person who rejected you wasn't causing permanent damage. They were freeing you from a cage you didn't even know existed. He saw that every tear you shed was washing away things that needed to go. That every night of pain was strengthening spiritual muscles you'll need for your next level. And worst of all for him, he saw that the person who rejected you just made an error from which there's no return. Because rejecting a chosen one isn't like rejecting any other person. It activates a spiritual law of consequences that operates automatically, without need for revenge, without need to wish harm. The person who rejected you just planted a seed whose harvest will be inevitable, and the devil knows this. He knows these laws better than most humans. He understands how the spiritual mechanics of the universe work. That's why he was furious, because he saw that the rejection that should have destroyed you will end up being the catapult that elevates you. And he saw that the person who rejected you just signed their own spiritual stagnation, not through a curse, not through divine revenge, simply through the natural law that whoever rejects light stays in darkness. Chapter 5. The law nobody explained to you. I need you to understand something fundamental about how the spiritual universe works. There's a law that operates silently in every relationship, every interaction, every decision involving other people. It's a law that makes no exceptions, that cannot be manipulated, that works with the precision of gravity. The law of energetic reciprocity. When someone gives you something genuine, true love, unconditional support, authentic presence, an energetic debt is created, not in the sense of forced obligation, but in the sense of universal balance. The universe registers what was given, and the universe seeks to balance the scales. If the person who received responds with gratitude, with reciprocity, with honor for the gift received, balance is maintained. Both grow, both rise. Energy flows in a healthy way. But when someone receives a genuine gift and responds with contempt, when they take the best another person has to offer and discard it as if it were worthless, the universe takes note, and the rebalancing process begins. It's not revenge. It's not punishment. It's simply how energy works. What you gave that person didn't disappear. It wasn't in vain. It wasn't lost in the void. That energy is registered, and it's seeking to return to you multiplied. Meanwhile, the person who rejected that gift is experiencing something they probably don't even connect to you. A void they can't fill. A dissatisfaction they can't explain. A feeling that something important is slipping away. That life has lost a color it once had. That no matter how much they search, they can't find what they secretly know they discarded. This isn't you wishing them harm. It's simply the law working. Whoever rejects water in the desert feels thirst, and that person rejected an oasis. Chapter 6. The signs you're seeing now. If what I'm saying is true, if you really were the prize and the universe really is rebalancing energies, there should be visible signs in your current life. Let me describe what you're probably experiencing. First, progressive clarity. That initial confusion, that understanding nothing, that mental fog preventing you from thinking clearly, is beginning to lift. You're starting to see the relationship as it really was, not as you idealized it. You're recognizing red flags you previously ignored. You're remembering moments where your intuition warned you, but you didn't listen. This clarity isn't coincidence. It's the veil falling. Second, energy returning. Unbalanced relationships drain energy silently but constantly. It's like a water leak you don't see, but that increases your bill every month. Now that the leak has been sealed, you're feeling a vitality you had forgotten existed. You're having ideas you didn't have before. You're feeling motivation for things you had abandoned. That energy was always yours. It was just being drained. Third, people noticing something different. People around you are commenting that you seem different. They don't know exactly what changed, but they feel something has changed. Maybe they say you look stronger, more centered, more yourself. Maybe they simply say there's something different without knowing how to explain what. It's your frequency stabilizing without the interference of someone who didn't deserve you. Fourth, opportunities appearing. Doors that seemed closed are beginning to open. Not necessarily romantic doors, although those will come too, but opportunities in general. Possibilities that didn't exist a few months ago. Paths that seemed blocked, revealing passages you couldn't see before. It's the universe compensating. It removed something that seemed good, but limited you. Now it's bringing things that will actually elevate you. And fifth, peace in the midst of the process. Not a peace that denies the pain. Not a false peace of someone pretending they don't care, but a deep peace that coexists with sadness. A peace that tells you that although it still hurts, everything will be okay. A peace you can't logically explain but feel in the center of your chest. This peace is confirmation. It's heaven telling you that you're on the right path, that the worst is over, that the best is yet to come. Chapter 7. What's happening to the one who rejected you? I'm not telling you this for revenge. I'm telling you because you need to understand that the law works for everyone without exception. The person who rejected you is experiencing something they probably attribute to bad luck, to circumstances, to anything except the decision they made. But it's not bad luck. It's consequence. You see, when you reject someone who genuinely loved you, you don't just lose that person. You lose something far more valuable that most don't understand. You lose the grace that was attached to that connection. Every genuine relationship brings with it a package of blessings that go beyond the person themselves. Opportunities that arrive through that connection. Protections that operate because of that bond. Doors that open because the universe sees two souls walking together in purpose. When someone rejects a genuine connection for selfish reasons, they don't just lose the relationship, they lose everything that came with it. And that's exactly what's happening to the one who rejected you. That person is probably experiencing an inexplicable drought in areas that used to flow. Relationships that don't work even though everything seems right on paper. Opportunities that dissolve at the last moment. A persistent feeling that something is missing even though they can't identify what. What's missing is you. Or more precisely, what's missing is the grace you brought to their life. And here's the hardest part to hear. That person will eventually realize. It might take months. It might take years. But the moment will come when the clarity you're already having, they will have too. And in that moment, they will understand exactly what they lost. But by then, it will be too late. Because the universe doesn't freeze your life waiting for others to repent. The universe keeps moving you forward. Toward better people, toward better opportunities, toward the life you truly deserve. And when that person finally wakes up, they will look at where you are and see you so far away, so elevated, so clearly out of their reach, that their regret will be absolute. Not because you sought revenge, simply because you kept walking while they remained stuck in the consequence of their own decision. Chapter 8. Your true identity revealed. Now I need to tell you about who you really are, because the pain of rejection has a dangerous side effect. It makes you forget your worth. It makes you question whether you deserve love. It makes you think there's something fundamentally wrong with you that makes people leave. I need to destroy that lie right now. You weren't rejected because there's something wrong with you. You were rejected because there's something extraordinary about you. Average people aren't rejected by insecure people. Average people are tolerated, accepted, included in the group without much problem. Because average people don't threaten, don't expose, don't confront with their mere existence. But you're not average. You're the kind of person who, without doing anything specific, simply by being who you are, confronts others with their own limitations. Your light exposes the darkness others prefer to keep hidden. Your authenticity reveals the falseness others carefully cultivate. Your capacity to love deeply shames those who only know how to love superficially. And that's threatening to people who aren't ready to grow. The rejection you suffered wasn't an evaluation of your worth. It was a declaration of the other person's level. They didn't reject you because you weren't enough. They rejected you because you were too much light, too much intensity, too much love, too much truth, too much presence, too much of everything they didn't have the capacity to hold. And instead of admitting their own limitation, instead of recognizing that the problem was in their inability to receive, they preferred to reject you as if you were the problem. But heaven knows the truth, and the forces of darkness know it too. That's why the devil was furious. Because he saw someone despise exactly the kind of soul he knows is rare. The kind of person who loves without conditions, who gives without calculating, who stays even when it's hard, who sees the best in others even when they don't deserve it. That kind of soul is precious. It's rare. It's exactly what most people spend their entire lives searching for without finding. And someone had it, and chose to discard it. Even the adversary recognizes the stupidity of that decision. Chapter 9. The future that awaits you. Let me show you what comes now that you've been freed. Because the rejection wasn't the end of your story. It was the end of a chapter that needed to finish, so the next one could begin. And the next chapter is incomparably better. First, the love you truly deserve is coming. I'm not talking about finding just anyone who accepts you. I'm talking about a specific person the universe is preparing for you. Someone who has the capacity to receive everything you have to offer. Someone who will look at the same thing the previous person rejected and see exactly the treasure it is. This person exists. And they're being prepared while you're also being prepared. The time between now and that meeting isn't lost time. It's time for refinement, for healing, for becoming the best version of yourself so that when the meeting happens, you're both ready. Second, success in areas that were blocked is coming. The energy you were spending on a relationship that didn't value you is now available for your purpose. Ideas you couldn't execute will start flowing. Projects that were stuck will become unblocked. Professional opportunities that seemed distant will draw near. It's not coincidence, it's redistribution of energy. Third, a peace that transcends circumstances is coming. A peace that doesn't depend on having someone. A peace that doesn't need external validation to exist. A peace that comes from knowing exactly who you are, exactly what you're worth, exactly what you deserve. This peace will be your foundation for everything that comes. From this place of peace, you'll make better decisions. You'll attract better people. You'll build a better life. And fourth, the moment of recognition is coming. The day will come when the person who rejected you will see exactly what you've become. They'll see your success. They'll see your peace. They'll see the genuine love you found with someone who knew how to value you. They'll see everything they could have had if they had been brave enough to stay. And in that moment, without you having to say a word, without you having to do anything specific, they will know. They will know they made the biggest mistake of their life. They will know they rejected something they will never find again. They will know you were the prize, and they lost it. Closing. Chosen one? If you made it this far, you need to understand something fundamental. The rejection you suffered wasn't a sentence. It was a redirection. It wasn't a declaration that you don't deserve love. It was a declaration that you deserve more than that person could offer. It wasn't the universe abandoning you. It was the universe protecting your destiny from someone who would limit it. You were the prize. You always were. And the only people who reject prizes are those who don't have the capacity to recognize value when it's right in front of their eyes. That person will regret it. Not because you wish them harm, but because it's impossible to discard something precious and not eventually feel the weight of that loss. But their regret is not your problem. Your problem now is to heal, to grow, to prepare for what's coming, to become the best version of yourself so that when the right love arrives, you're ready to receive it completely. For those who want to go deeper into this process of healing and spiritual preparation, there's exclusive material that costs less than a pizza and comes with a complete audiobook and a 5-minute meditation guide as a special bonus. Access is available in the description and pinned comment of this video. If this video confirmed something you always felt, but didn't know how to put into words, if it helped you see your rejection from a completely different perspective, write 7 in the comments to amplify this frequency of healing and liberation. Subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications to receive more revelations about how your nature as a chosen one operates at levels that transcend common understanding. Share this video with someone who also went through a painful rejection and needs to discover they were the prize that was despised. And before you go, click on the video appearing on your screen right now to discover more about how your identity as a chosen one is being recognized by forces you never imagined were watching you. Together, we are stronger.